Can you see my slides?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Okay. So again, as I told you earlier, that we will be I'm using the slides of Professor Bush from Louisiana State University. I'm again thankful for giving me permission to use the slides. So I think we started with the DFA, deterministic finite automata, and I think I gave you one or two examples. So let me start. So this was a typical scenario of DFA. There is an initial state. There is a 1 minute. So this state is initial state. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 states. This double circle state is a final state. Okay, and for each state, for each input A and B, there are two possibilities. We know where to go actually, and these are known as transitions basically. Okay, this is a typical scenario. So as I told you, in DFA, for every state there is a transition for every symbol in the alphabet. This is very, very important. If alphabet is sigma is equal to A comma B, for each state I know if where to go if I receive A or if I receive B. Okay. So I think we started with this initial configuration, input tape A, B, B, A. So as you know, this is the start state, initial state. After receiving A, we go to Q1, then we receive B, we go to Q2, then we receive B, we go to Q3, and then we receive A, we go to Q4. And finally we accept because input is consumed. This is a condition. So I think there was a rejection case if the input is ABA, as you know, as you can see that A will give you Q1, B will give you Q2, and A will give you further Q5, which is a reject state, right? So input is finished. We are not in the accepting state, so we reject the string. Okay. Now, if there is a empty string and we start, so obviously no symbol to read. We are in the start state. We will remain in the start state always. Okay. So it is a reject. It will never reach to the final state. It will never reach to the final state here, right? So this is rejected. So this automation that we have drawn here, this accepts the strings of the form. This actually only these kind of string it will accept. Okay, A, B, B, A. So that is a language. So to accept a string, all the input string is scanned and the last state is the accepting state. These are the two conditions. The last state is the accepting state and all the input string is scanned. These two things are important thing. To reject a string, all the input string is scanned and the last state is non-accepting, so we reject the string, right? Let us look at a couple of more examples. This example, now you see that there is a possibility that there are multiple accepting states are there. One state is here, another state is here, another state is here. So Q0, Q2, Q4, 3 accepting states are possible in DFA. So the multiple accepting states are possible, right? So here we can see that this is a language for this DFA. So if you take lambda, you know it will accept lambda because we are in the start state and you don't have to move anywhere, so you accept the string, right? And it's an accepting state. If you go to AB, so A will give you here and B will give you here. This is also accepting state. So this is also accepted. This is also accepted, right? And when you do the ABBA, so A, B, B, A, this is also accepting state. So this will accept these kind of strings. So the language is this. Okay. So language of an automata of the deterministic finite automata is all the strings that are accepted by the automata, right? So here these are the 3 strings which will be accepted by the automata. So this is accepted. This is the language of the automata. Now let us look at another example. So I mean the one which I talked about. So if lambda is there, it's accepting the lambda string. Okay. Another example, if you look at here, you can see that in this automata, middle state is the accepting state Q1, and Q2 is kind of trap state or infinite loop. Let us see an example of it. If you look at AAB, so if you receive A, you arrive in Q0 itself, then there is another A, you again stay in Q0. So basically, no matter how many A's are there, it will keep on in the beginning. If there are many A's, you will keep on accepting them, and then finally there is a B, and so you accept the string. So AAB will be accepted. Similarly, AAAB will be accepted, right? Or any number of A's and times B, any number of A's followed by B will be accepted by this automata, right? So essentially, if you look at BAB, then what happens? So if there is a B, we go to Q1. After reading A, we go to Q2. Now there is no way you can come back basically, right, to accepting state. So this is kind of trap state. So now no matter how many A and B's are there, you will stay in Q2 itself, right? So if B is there, so finally you reject the string. Okay, so BAB is rejected. Okay, so the language accepted by this automata. Yes, please ask the question. Yes.
Sir, here what is the significance of accepting and rejecting means?
So basically, I would say that in the very simplest form of this computer, what kind of computation this computer can do. Okay, so when we are saying that input to the computer is this, whether in so the computer does something. Okay, so here what I'm saying, the simplest way, we are saying that can it accept the language or not. Okay, can it accept this string or not. Okay, yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. So now, so as you can see that because of this loop here, you know, no matter we can have A B, we can have A B, no many you know, any number of A's. So actually it will accept all the strings of the form this A and B, right? So that is nothing but the language is A and B, right, for this automata, right? Any number of A's followed by B, right, it will be accept, right? That is the language of the automata. So basically, given an automata, given a deterministic finite automata, this question is always asked, find out the language. So we can find out, for example, here I saw the structure of the automata, and from there I can infer what kind of languages it is going to accept, right? And then finally I wrote the formula that this is going to accept these kind of strings. Another example is even strings, you know, the even numbers of ones actually, you know. If even is set of all those x in sigma star, so sigma is 1 actually. Suppose sigma is only consisting of only one alphabet 1, then all those x in sigma star such that x is even. So suppose strings are of the form lambda, empty string, 2 times 1, 4 times 1, you know, 6 times 1, and so on. So this automata is going to accept because, you know, lambda is there, because lambda is there, so it will be accepted because the first state is accepting state. Then if 1 1, so 1 will go here and the next one will come here, so it is accepted. So this loop, you know, will continuously run even number of times, right? So 1 here, then you are returning it also. If 1 is going, 1 is returning. So if 5 times you go there, then 5 times you come back here. So a string of length 10 will be accepted. 1 1 1 1, right? This is also accepted. All strings of even length will be accepted of this, right? Because of this nature of the automata. So formally, how do we define DFA or deterministic finite automata? It is a 5-tuple system. Q is known as set of states. So as you know, Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, those number of states are there. Sigma is the input alphabet. So normally we take A comma B, right? And it is assumed that lambda is not a member of sigma. Okay. Delta is a transition function. I'm going to describe what is transition function in a minute. It will describe actually, you know, the transitions from one state to the other state after receiving the input. So Q0 is a start state, initial state, right, which is there in every. and F in every automata, and F is a set of accepting states. So there are possibilities of multiple accepting states. Some states like this are multiple states, right? Okay. So please do stop me if you have any question at any point. So here is an example. In this example, so states are 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5. All are states. So Q is this set, right? Then F is only Q4, right? F accepting state is only Q4, right? Only one. Yes, ask.
Sir, I read it out that what is a state over here in DFA?
State means, it's a state means you are in one configuration. In other words, you say you are in one state, right? Literal meaning of a state, basically. So when the input is there, you are in some state. Another input comes, you go to some other state, right? So you are changing the configuration actually all the time, right?
And sir, how that DFA knows that for which language means from which for which string from which state to which state we have to transition, means is it programmed in the machine?
No. So basically, you have to design this. So basically, given a language, so there are two kind of problems. Given a language, if the language is given, suppose L is a language, you have to do it by manually right now. Of course, you can do the programming for this. You have to manually find DFA for it. There are two kind of problems. Okay, and second problem is if DFA is given, this kind of picture is given to you, you find out the language from it. Okay, both are the problems which you need to learn. Okay, so I think in the
Sir,
access,
yeah, okay, sir, yes. So my question was that how that machine knows that for which particular alphabet which transition I have to perform.
no. So basically, it depends on what string is coming. So suppose in this one, suppose A B is coming, right? This is a string that is the input. So I look at A. So A will give us, you start from here. This is the start state, right? And then you go to the Q1, right? Then machine looks at the next one. Next is A. You go here in Q5, right? And then next is B. So if B is there, you will stay here in B. So this is a reject case.
Means, sir, means my question was that how that machine makes the transition.
How the machine makes a transition? So I don't understand your question. What do you mean by machine makes a transition?
Means machine is in state 1, state Q0. Means
Mhm.
how it transitions to state Q1.
Oh, so the configuration will change, right? I mean, the state is changing. So,
Okay, yes.
so basically, description is changing. In fact, we can keep a record of the history of these transitions, and you will see that the states are changing. Okay, so I'll show you the table. Actually, you will see the table, and then you see how these things are happening. Okay.
Yes, okay, sir.
Okay, so input alphabet sigma is here. Sigma is A comma B in this example. So which is O. Okay. Initial stage is Q0, so which is also there in this example. I think, as I told you, set of accepting state F is equal to Q4 in this example. Now I am going to describe the transition function delta. So transition function delta is a function from Q cross sigma to Q. It takes you are in some state. After receiving input X, you go to some other state Q prime. So this is pictorially written as this, and mathematically you can write down delta of Q comma X gives you Q prime. X is the input. Okay, X is the input and Q is the state. Okay, and this is a new state. Okay, fine. So this describes the result of a transition from a state Q with symbol X. You move to Q prime. So here is, for example, delta of Q0 A. So we are in state Q0. After receiving input A, we are going to Q1. So delta of Q0 A is written as Q1. Got it? Okay. Next, delta of Q0 B If I take, so we are in a state Q0, after receiving B, there is transition to give you Q5. So I'm writing it Q5, fine. Next, delta of Q2B, delta of Q2B, you see, will give you Q3. So this is Q3. Next, so here we can summarize, this is the table, you know. In fact, you can say that this is the program through which we know, so we don't have to draw this picture, rather this table will be sufficient for us to do the computation. Okay, this is the transition table for delta. So I know that for each state Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5, after receiving input A or input B, I know which transition, which state it will change to, right? If you are in, say, state Q2 and after receiving A, you will go to Q5. If you are in Q2 and if you receive B, you will go to Q3. Okay, which you can verify from this picture. So rather than this picture, we look at this transition table. So this is the real program for DFA. Okay, so DFA can be described by this transition table. Any question at this point? Okay. Okay, and now actually right now we define transition function for single input, but if there is a string, you know, so how do we define? So we can define transition function delta star acting on the string coming from sigma star. So delta star, you are in a state Q, after receiving this input string, you know, input string, you go to some other state Q prime. So this can be described, this captures the notion of string consumption, you know. So if there is a string is as an input, directly you can tell what will happen. So this is described by delta star. In other words, delta star is, if we can decompose delta star into smaller delta functions, because delta functions work on the one symbol and delta star works on the entire string. Okay, so here is an example, delta star of Q0 AB. So Q0 is the state, we are in this state, fine. Input string W is AB. So after receiving A and B, we go to Q2. So delta star Q0 AB is Q2. Got it? Okay. So this is coming from this picture, you can see. Similarly, delta star of Q0 A B B B A A is Q5. So you can see that A, B, B, another B, and then twice A, you know, twice A will give us Q5 itself, right? So this is what it is. Okay. So delta star Q0 A B B B A A is Q5. So this is how we can describe action of delta star on the strings. Okay. Similarly, delta star of Q1 VBA. So Q1, we are in Q1 state, then B B A will give us Q4. So this is Q4. So basically Q4 is a accepting state that we know anyway. So a special case for any state, you know, if lambda is the empty string, right? Then delta star Q lambda will give us Q itself, right? Because no state change. So no state change. This is a special case. Okay. So as I told you, delta star QW is equal to Q prime can be decomposed into a block of transitions from basically, you know, of something like sigma 1, sigma 1, sigma k, which is acting on individual delta, you know. So let me show you. Okay, so I think you can see that here, for example, you know, delta star Q1 B B A. So you know that this whole thing can be decomposed into delta of Q1 B and then delta of Q2 B and then delta of Q3 B, right? So that can be composed. So these are walk, actually walk of transitions. Okay, so now language is accepted by DFA. So all the languages that are accepted by DFA, they are denoted by L of M. So given DFA M, we say that L of M denotes all the languages accepted by M. Okay, all the strings accepted by M actually, it contains all the strings. That is known as language. So we also say that automata M recognize language LM. So mathematically we can write for a DFA, capital M is equal to Q sigma delta Q naught F. Q is a set of states, sigma is a alphabet, input alphabet, delta is a transition function, Q naught is the start state, F is a set of accepting states. If we have this kind of typical scenario for DFA, language of M is all those strings W in sigma star, such that starting from the start state with extended transition function delta star, after consuming the input string W, we are in some accepting state of F. Okay, so that is nothing but the definition of formal definition of the language of M. Okay, so this is fairly straightforward definition. Any question at this point? Okay. So language rejected by the automata is nothing but the complement of this whole language set. Is all those strings such that delta star Q naught W does not belong to F, right? So if that is the case, then these are the languages which are rejected by M. More DFA example. Now empty language. Now you can see that this automata, if we take, can you tell me what is so specific about this automata? Start state is Q naught. It is a DFA. Huh?
Sir, it will accept no languages.
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
Because for
Sir,
any
it-
string,
No
Accepting
it will be running on the same state.
Yeah. So actually there is no accepting state here. You see, there is no accepting state, right? It cannot accept anything. So it's an empty language. So this is the automata for accepting language, for empty language. An important thing to note that the definition of the DFA is very, very important, that for each state and for each input, we should know what to do. And here we know what to do. If we are in the state Q naught, if I receive A, I will remain in Q naught. If I receive B, I will remain in Q naught, right? I will keep on moving. But we will never be able to accept anything, right? Because there is no accepting state. On the other hand, if I do little bit modification, I will make it as accepting state, Q naught as accepting state, it will accept all strings, right? Two sides of the same coin, right? I mean, the different ways, right? You know that why this will accept all the strings? Because no matter what is the what combination of A and B is coming, this we can always accept it, right? So this accepts all strings, right? So there is a difference between these two. But so this was the language of the empty language. This was the DFA for the empty language. But what about the DFA for the empty string? So if the language is empty string, so this is not going to work. So if I suppose this portion is not there, so what will happen? If I keep it like this, will that be a DFA? My question is that, because this will accept lambda, right?
Yes, sir, it will accept
Lambda.
when
Don't know what to do for AB.
not a DFA, but
Yeah, but this is not a DFA. If I keep it only this portion here, right, this will accept empty string lambda, but this is not going to be DFA because I am not telling what to do if I receive A or B, right? Correct? So I need to make this transition. A, if you receive A, you go to Q naught. If you receive B, you go to Q naught. But once we made this, again, this is not complete unless I make this transition for A and B here also. Because this is a very, very important requirement. And again, I am stressing that in DFA, for every state and for every input symbol, I should know where to go. Okay. That is a very, very important requirement. Okay. So language of the string is complete. Language of the empty string is this. So if language of language is this empty string, so then in that case the DFA is this actually, right? You should have these two states and with these transitions. Okay. Now, now I will show you how from a language we construct the DFA. Okay, so a little bit non-trivial example, and after that I am going not to, I will not cover all of them, but it is given in the slides. You can look at it. So language is all strings with prefix AB. Okay, so I want all strings over AB with prefix AB. So I start with a start state, right, and make a state Q0. Then what I should do? I should tell what to do if I receive A. I receive A and I make another state Q1, right? Because I need to make sure that I take care of this small a. So I have taken care of this small a. Then I can take care of next B. So I have taken B and I created this accepting state, right? So this will accept this is state. So till now this portion is not there, right? Okay. Now once we are able to do this, I'm sure as you know that from here I know what to do if I receive A, but I have not told you what to do if you receive B. Similarly here, I have not told you what to do if you receive A and B. So I have put these transitions with A and B here. That means so that this is a DFA, right? So this portion is taken care. For this state Q2, I know what to do if I receive A and B, right? And for Q1, I know what to do if I receive B, but I have not told you what to do if you receive A. So that's why I have created another state Q3, and from here, if I receive B, I have made it here, and if I receive A, I have made it here. So this is the extra state I have added to take care of the transitions from Q1 and Q0 if they receive A and B respectively, right? So I have added this. Then in Q3 also I have to add this extra transition for A and B, because every state I should add these transitions. What will happen if you receive A or if you receive B, right? So I hope you understood this. This is the complete DFA for all the strings with prefix AB. Any question at this point? So I told you, given a language, how to construct the DFA. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, is it possible that the language is means lambda, means no string? The
Yeah,
previous
so I
example.
have shown you. The previous example is here. Yeah, lambda language is only lambda. Yeah. In
Because
that
sir,
case,
you said that lambda does not belongs to sigma. So,
Lemma does not belong to sigma, but lambda could be empty string here. You see?
means it can say language, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So I'm saying that the alphabet does not have lambda. Okay, it has only symbols like A, B or something like that. A, B, C, whatever. Right? Okay.
Sir,
So did
can
you
you please tell the difference between single circle and two concentric circles?
Yeah. So
I-
single circle and two concentric circles all are states. Double concentric circles are nothing but accepting state of final state. This is final state. So when we are doing the computation, once input is consumed and we are in this final state, we accept the string. If this final state is not there, if this concentric circle is not there anywhere in the automata, then this is not a DFA. Because DFA requirement is what? If you look at, we should have here the formal definition. I will show you again. Yes, the formal DFA, Q should be set of states. Sigma is the input alphabet. There should be transition function, right? Q0 is the initial state. If F is not there, accepting state is not there, then we cannot construct the DFA, right? So there should be certain set of accepting states. So some accepting state should be there. Okay. Yes.
Thank you.
Got it. Any more question about this construction? Yes.
Sir, in this for this given language, you can construct multiple DFS, no?
Yes, that is also possible. So yes. हाँ बोलिए मेगा मैन. Yes, ask. So important thing to note that if the language is given, somebody will come a automata with 5 states, somebody may come automata with 4 states, somebody may come with an automata with 10 states. So the answer will be different for each one. Okay, so that is okay.
And sir, here we created one new state like Q3. So we can make as much as possible, or we want, or it should be minimum states. Means
So
is it
of
that
course the
if there are
minimum,
minimum states, then it will be more efficient?
yes, if there are minimal states, it will be more efficient. It's more, it will be less computational expensive, right? So of course we want an automata with minimal number of states. That is a sort of optimization problem, right? So which is very, very important. So there are techniques to construct automata with minimal number of states, but I think right now in the current course we are not going into look into those things. Yeah. I think please mute your mic, I guess. Yes, thank you. So I think this is important to understand. The answer could be different for everyone. So there could be optimal automata for certain languages. So I think now in the assignment third, we have given you certain examples, and I mean we have asked you to construct a DFA for a given language, right? So you need to do the practice. And also I think we have given you the other part of the problem, that DFA is given, find out the language, right? So those two things are there. So please do the practice on this. Okay. Of course, this is given in your Rosen textbook. This chapter is given on automata. But if you want to read more, there are books by Michael Sipser, and there is a book by Motwani, Ullaman, and Hofcroft, you know, theoretical computer science. Of course, I think in future you may do an elective on this, because this is a fundamental course in, it is covered in computer science, but I am giving you the basics which you should know. And of course, there are more details which you can see later on. So I hope you understood this example given in language, how to construct the DFA. Okay. Now there are other examples which I will just show you without any explanation, and I will invite you to discuss among yourself, play with it. You know, these slides are anyway available for you to download from the link which I have shared in the YouTube video also, and also it is available on, you know, I have sent you the WhatsApp group also. So download the slides and play with it. Okay. All binary strings containing substring 001. This is the automata, so you can verify. All binary strings without substring 001. This is the automata. Okay. All strings of the form where the first entry is A, first element is A, and the last element is A, and in the mid could be any combination of A and B. This is the automata. So now finally I would say that a language L is said to be regular if there is a DFA M that accepts it. Okay, so that means we say that all the languages that are accepted by DFA, the deterministic finite automata, are known as regular languages, right? So the languages accepted by all DFAs form the family of regular languages. Okay. Okay. So these are some examples of regular languages: ABBA, lambda, AB, ABBA, A and B, AWA, as I showed you, all strings in AB star with prefix AB, all binary strings without substring 001, you know, empty, lambda, because you can construct DFA for all of them. So these are, you know, the strings for these languages are known as regular languages. There exist DFAs that accept these languages, you know, you have already seen. Now, there are languages which cannot be accepted by deterministic finite automata. So I'm going to show you that example. Of course, I will not prove it, but if you want, you can look at the proof anywhere. Here is a language ANBN. But I would like to discuss with you some intuitive idea. Why do you think that this language cannot be accepted by any DFA?
Because it has infinite number of strings which can be inputted.
Because the order of A and B does not remain constant. It can be AB or AB, AA, ABB. It can change continuously
Yes.
with value of n.
Every state we cannot run finitely.
Yeah, so first, yes, your observation is correct. So basically, if you want to construct a DFA, it should have infinite number of states, which is not there because we are looking at the finite state automata, right? So that is one condition. Second thing is that you somehow we need to keep track of this n here, right? So that requires that forces us to have some sort of memory. Okay, and that's what we will see that we can do that in PDA, push down automata, which is DFA plus a stack memory, and that will solve this problem, how to keep track of this number n. So equal number of A's and equal number of B's should be there, so we can handle that. Okay, so there are these languages, so for which we cannot accept, which cannot be accepted by DFA. Okay, good. So now I'm going to tell you something about the another one known as NFA, non-deterministic finite automata. Okay, non-deterministic finite automata. Okay, okay. Again, I'm using the same slides by Professor Bush. So okay, so thanks to him. So non-deterministic finite automata. So as the name suggests, it is non-deterministic. That means the difference between deterministic automata, deterministic finite automata, and non-deterministic finite automata, the difference is that after receiving the input in the DFA, we have the deterministic choice where to go. But in case of non-deterministic, I could have multiple choice where to go. Okay, so that is a key difference. After receiving the input A, you know, I'm not sure where to go. So basically, so for example, here you see in the start state Q0, okay, the start state is Q0. After receiving input A, one choice is you go on Q1, another choice is you go on Q3. So what to do now? Any idea? There are two choices for A. In DFA, we had only one choice. So basically, what will happen? Yeah.
It cannot move towards accepting state many times. It can go towards Q3 also. So
no, so the key problem here is what we can do. We can have two different paths of computations here now in parallel. Okay, in parallel, in one path of computation, as soon as non-deterministic choice is there, this is one way of computation, this is another way of computation. Okay, and you move along both, and both are going parallelly. So if
means sir, means transition function will give two output.
correct, that means transition function will give you two output, and if one of them is accepting a state, then you accept. So there is slightly difference. Let me give you an example, some more examples, and so that you understand really well. Okay, so there are two choices. So key difference is there from DFA. You see there are multiple choices for a given input, and also there are states for which there are no transitions. Remember, in the DFA, the requirement was there that for each state and for each symbol in the input, each symbol in the alphabet, we should know what to do. For A and B, we know where to go. But here it is not the requirement. You know, this requirement is not there. So Q3, I don't know what to do if I receive A. I don't know what to do if I receive A. I don't know what to do if I receive B. Nothing is there. There is no transition here, either here or nor here, right? Neither here nor here. So that is the difference. Okay. So if I receive AA, what will happen here? So A, one path, AA. So one path, all into input is consumed, and you are in the accepting state. Another path will be, okay, second choice, A, automation halts and rejects. Input cannot be consumed. So what to do now? Should we accept or should we reject? So one path computation is there, input is consumed and it accepts. And second path, it rejects, input cannot be consumed. So basically, an NFA accepts a string if there is a computation of the NFA that accepts the string. That is, all the input string is processed and the automation in the accepting states. Okay, if there is one computation, then we accept the string. Okay, that is a key difference, key thing. So A is accepted by the NFA because the computation, this computation accepts. So this computation here accepts the computation, the string A, whereas this one is rejects. So since this accepts, so this A is accepted by the NFA. Okay. Rejection example, suppose there is single A. So single A, here it will reject, and another path also it will reject. So finally it will reject. Another rejection example is AAA. AA, input cannot be consumed and it is reject. Similarly, in this second choice also it rejects. So finally it is rejected, right? So NFA rejects a string if there is no computation of the NFA that accepts the string. And for each computation, all the input is consumed and the automation is in non-accepting state, or the input cannot be consumed. In these situations, NFA rejects the string. Okay. So A is rejected by NFA in both the cases. All possible computations lead to rejection. Okay. A is also rejected, as I showed. Two paths of computation are there. In both paths of computation, it is rejected. So this automata accepts only this language AA. So this is the language of this NFA. This is NFA, non-deterministic finite automata. Okay. Okay. Now there is another important thing in NFA which is not there in DFA, is known as lambda transitions. What are these lambda transitions? Lambda transitions are introduced in the automata to sort of give a delay. So delay in the sense, while doing the computation, if you want a delay in the computation, so you introduce lambda transition. So this will change the state. You see, state is changed, but head will not change. Head which is reading the input will remain the same, but the state is changed. Okay, so let me give you an example here. Suppose AA is there. So what is happening? A, it will go to Q1, then the head is not, so head has read already this A, but this A is not reading yet. It will change the state. Change the state, lambda transition. Input tape head does not move. Automation change the states, and then it reads the next A. Then you read the next A, and then you accept. So all input is consumed. So string A is accepted. So you see the beauty of this lambda transition, which has created a delay. Any question at this point? Lambda transition. Okay. So lambda transition is only making state change. Okay.
Sir, means if there is a halt, then the automata will assume that that an empty string is inputted, right, sir?
Yeah. So basically it will move, change the state. So basically many times while designing the these things, we have flexibility, right? Flexibility of introducing lambda transition, and basically not all kind of all kind of so sometimes there are states with no transitions. So when we do these things, it is easy for us to design the NFA foreign language. It's very easy now as compared to DFA. DFA, so it may happen because of these things that given a language, DFA will have more number of states, it will be more complex, but NFA will be much more simpler. Okay, because there are we have allowed many relaxation. Okay.
Understood.
Excuse me,
Hello, sir.
Yes, please ask.
sir. Here the input tape should not be A lambda A.
Lambda is not mentioned on the tape, right? So lambda is there just basically we are introducing delay. Okay, as I told you, this is just to give you delay. It's just to, we have introduced this lambda transition just to provide you the state change. That's all. state change. That's all. Nothing more than that. It's not there on the input string. Okay.
Hello,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir. In NFA, if we have accepting state at both end of multiple paths, then what would happen?
It depends upon the case. What is the input actually, right? It all depends on what input is there, right? It accordingly we need to interact. Let me show you a couple of more examples so that it will be clear to you. Okay. Just see more examples.
Sir,
So rejection example.
Hello, sir.
AAA. Now, yes, you have any
Sir,
other
why
question?
we use NFA?
As I told you,
Because-
NFA is simpler to design as compared to DFA.
Sir, but in the example that you showed, it
Huh.
has two paths, and if we make a definite DFA, it will take a single path, so less computation.
No. So that's
So
what
why
I'm saying.
NFA?
Actually, no. What happens? The design of the NFA is much simpler. Basically, I think I will compare. I will show you with the same set of language. I will draw DFA and NFA both for you, and you can see the difference actually. Okay, why NFA is simple. NFA is because of relaxation of the conditions. It is very simple to design as compared to, and actually, so basically, suppose given a language, I want to check if it is regular or not. I just design NFA first, and then NFA can be converted into DFA. That is also a possibility. And I will show you that conversion also, that you can convert DFA into NFA. So every DFA is NFA because NFA is more general, but NFA can be converted into DFA as well. Okay, so we'll show these connections actually. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So in this rejection example, AAA is there. So once you receive A, you go here, then lambda, you go here. So read that head does not move, the head is not changed. Then again you read A, you go Q3. So input cannot be consumed. So it's A string is rejected. Okay. So the language accepted by this automata is only AA. I think so. This is something you keep in mind. So yeah. Okay. Another NFA example. Another example is here. Q0. Now you see that one lambda transition is between Q2 and Q3. Another one is between Q3 and Q0. Okay. So input is AB. So what happens? You start with A, go to Q1, start with B, Q2. You accept the string, right? Because input is consumed, so you finish. Another one, AB. So now you see the useful application of delay now. So what happens? A, B, okay, and the input is not finished yet. So then you go to lambda transitions, state is changing, Q3, Q4, Q3 and again Q0, and again we went back and then again we are reading A. So now because A and B are only here, it tells you what to do if A and B are here. So I am again reading A and again reading B. So it is accepting. So earlier string was AB, it accepted. Now it is accepting AB, right? In fact, it can accept more AB kind of combinations, right? Because of this, these two lambda transitions, we are accepting the initial things and then we are taking the delay, and so that we can again come back to the start state and start accepting it, right? So all the strings
Sir,
of this form. Yes.
Instead of using state Q3, we cannot directly connect Q2 accepting state to the Q0.
You can do.
Yes,
So that's what I'm saying. You
there
can
is
try
no need
whatever
of
way.
Q3.
Yeah, all kind of possibilities are there. This is one example where we are showing it. Okay. So the language accepted by this is AB, and so on. So essentially all this except lambda 1, right? Another NFA example. Now you can see that this accepts all strings of the form lambda 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 and so on. So I think I'm not going to discuss these details, but I think you have these plenty of examples to yourself verify. Download these slides and then verify and do some analysis. Of course, at your tea time, in the evening while drinking tea, you can do these things. Okay, now you see that the remark is that the lambda symbol never appears on the input tape. This is very, very important, as I told you again and again. Now, simple automata for empty languages is, you see, here is a simple automata for empty language is this, okay. And whereas, so now here the requirement of A and B is not there, so there is no transitions, you know, here. And for lambda string, the string, it is like this. So these are two NFAs, okay. One NFA this for empty language and one NFA for empty string, okay, language of empty string. So NFAs are interesting because we can express languages easier than DFAs. So this is the important benefit, okay. We can language express easier. It is easier to express languages in DFA, okay. So now as you can see that in this one for the language A, NFA is very simple, only 2 states, whereas DFA has 3 states actually, right? So you can see that DFA has 3 states, right? Q0, Q1, Q2, and for each symbol. So if sigma is singleton A, right? So you need to know what to do if you receive A. So there are 3 states, whereas NFA is very simple, okay? So formal definition of NFA. It is again 5 tuple, okay. Okay, Q sigma delta Q0 F, yes, and Q is a set of states, Q0, Q1, Q2, sigma is the input alphabet, delta is a transition function, Q0 is the initial state, and F is a set of accepting state. So everything remains same, just like DFA. The only thing is that now the transitions are non-deterministic, you know, that is the key thing, and lambda transitions are there. And also the third difference is that for each input there may not be a transition. Now the transition function can be defined like this. So delta, so we are in a state Q, you know, after receiving input X, there could be multiple outputs, you know, that is a possibility because there is this resulting states with following one transition with symbol X. There are multiple possibilities, right? Okay. For example, in this, yes, yes,
Sir,
please ask.
in this transition
Sir, in this
function,
slide,
the where it will go, it is random, or we can even program giving weight to more states.
No. So right now, what we are doing is we are running parallel computations, right? Actually, there are probabilistic automata as well where you decide randomly choose the path. Those kind of things are also there. But right now what we are saying, if there is a non-deterministic choice, we are running in parallel. Okay, got it? These computations are running in parallel. Yes.
Sir, this type of NFA also can be converted to DFA.
Yes. I'm going to show you one example how to convert the NFA to DFA. Okay. Okay. So for example, delta of Q01 is Q1, which is fine. Delta of Q1 after receiving input 0. So as you can see that one path is this, another path is this. So it will give you Q0 and Q2 both, right? Q0 and Q2 both. Delta of Q1. So in DFA, delta function gives you only one choice, right? It is only one state. Output is only one state. Here the output is multiple states. That is a possibility. Okay. Delta of Q0 lambda is Q2, which is fine. Delta of Q21 is phi. So because at Q2, after receiving 1, I don't know where to go. So actually it is phi. This transition is phi. Okay. Extended this transition function delta star we can define in a similar way. So delta star Q0 A is Q1 here, right? Delta star Q0 A is Q1, and in fact delta star Q0 AA is Q4 Q5, which is fine, right? Delta star of Q0 AB is Q0 AB will give us Q2, Q3 and Q0 back, okay, because all these are covered. So a special case for any state Q, Q belongs to delta star Q comma lambda, empty string. In general, if Qj belongs to sigma star Qi W, there is a walk from Qi to Qj with label W, okay. So language of the NFA, language of an NFA is all those string W1, W2, Wn where delta star of Q0 Wm gives you set of possible states in which there are some accepting states, okay, some Qk in F. So this is how you can, you can define the multiple paths. So now you can see that if F is Q0, Q5, you can see that this is accepting state Q0 and Q5 is accepting state. Then delta star of Q0 AA. So A and A will give us this Q4, Q5 both, and one of them belongs to F. Q5 is F, so AA belongs to language, right? A is accepted by this string, by this NFA, right? Similarly, AB gives you Q0, AB will give you Q2, Q3, Q0, and Q0 is accepting a state, so AB belongs to language. Similarly, ABAA belongs to language. ABA does not belong to, because it gives you Q1, ABA from Q0, and the string is ABA, it gives you Q1, okay. So this does not belong to F. So language of this automata is AB star union AB star and AA. Towards the end, it is AA. Anyway, so NFA accepts the regular languages, just like DFA. So now I think I can show you quickly the equivalence of these two machines. So machine M1 is equivalent to machine M2. We say that if they accept the same languages, right? So two machines are said to be equivalent if they accept the same language. So I can show you that DFA and DFA and NFA accepts the same language. Okay, so they are equivalent. So here is an example. If the language is 10 star, so NFA is Q0, Q1, and this 01. DFA is a little bit longer. Obviously, these are equivalent machines. So language accepted by NFA is regular languages, and they are also language accepted by DFA. So NFA and DFA have the same computational power because they accept the same set of languages. So we only need to show these two conclusions, that language accepted by NFAs is subset of regular languages, and language accepted by the NFAs is subset of regular languages, right? So language accepted by NFAs contains regular languages, and language accepted by NFAs is a subset of regular languages, right? So one thing you can observe that every DFA is trivially a NFA, because NFA is a general thing. So that means so every DFA is trivially an NFA. So any language L is accepted by DFA is also accepted by NFA, right? So this portion is okay. The converse part we can show by converting an NFA into a DFA. Since any NFA can be converted into equivalent DFA, so any language L accepted by an NFA is also accepted by a DFA. Okay, let us start this conversion. So we have this, NFA given to us. What we do, first look at start a state here and make a singleton set, here. And this is our start state of DFA. Okay. From here, singleton Q0 is one thing. Now you do what? Next you do, I look at delta star. So what have I looked at? Delta star Q0A in the NFA. Delta star Q0A will give us Q1 and Q2, right? Because this is lambda transition, so this is also covered. So this will be Q1, Q2. So we put a transition with A and with the new state as Q1, Q2. Okay, with the input as A. Okay, this is our new state. Next, we look at from Q1. So one thing is that, as you know that, so from each state, so Q0, of course, for B we don't know what to do, right? Delta star Q0 B we don't know what to do, right? In NFA, delta star Q0 B is empty. There is no edge. So I create Q0 and then I create a transition B with a trap state, empty state. We call it as a trap state, you know. So this is how we do. So now remember, for DFA, for each state we should know what to do if you receive A and B. So we are going to determine these things from the NFA. So now we need to look at Q1, Q2. What to do with Q1, Q2? With Q1, delta star Q1A, we know is Q1, Q2, and delta star Q2A is basically phi. There is no edge. So their union is Q1, Q2. So that means I can put a transition like A from Q1, Q2. Okay, we are doing this union here. Okay, then we need to also tell what to do if you receive B. So as you see that from NFA, delta star Q1B is Q0, delta star Q2B is Q0, their union is Q0. So we are going back to Q0. So this is taken care. This state is taken care. This state is also taken care because for each A and B I know what to do. But for phi we have not done anything. So we can add this trap state, you know, just a state with A and B, because this is of no use. No matter what A and B is there, we can put it here. So this is our actually final thing. I have to just do the accepting state. So since here Q1 is the accepting state, so Q1 is a part of this. So this we can make it as an accepting state. So this belongs to accepting state. So this is how we can do the construction. From NFA, I can give you an equivalent DFA. Okay, I think I will again quickly probably go in the next class briefly again over this conversion, the whole mechanism about how to convert NFA to DFA. But please do practice, and I think that's all for today. Any question?
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, I have a question that, sir, here the state Q2 will be reached after there is a halt in the inputted state Q1, right? But the information is not present in the corresponding DFA.
No, so DFA we don't have to do anything with the lambda, right? Lambda transition is not there. So our task is that both the automatas, the existing NFA and the constructed DFA, should accept the same set of languages. That's all. Okay.
But in NFA there was a halt after A, then the state Q2 was reached. But
yeah,
here it is not the case.
Yeah, so that is not the case. That will be true because see, what we are doing actually. So maybe I'll show you here. You know, so how we do this possibility. NFA has a state Q0, Q1, Q2. DFA has a state the power set form, which is there, which I have shown to you. You know, initial state of NFA is Q0. So delta star Q0 lambda is whatever. So the initial state of DFA is this. Then we do one by one. Delta star Q0 lambda is Q0. So that is your first state here. So for each state here, I am just computing for A and B, because our job is for each A and B, what happens that I need to determine for the DFA. Okay.
Yes,
So
okay, sir.
Yeah. So from here, I am just looking at what is happening here, right? So for this Q0 lambda is Q0. So that is done. Then for every DFA states, compute in the NFA these things, you know, and then take the union. I have done this, you know, I've shown you. Then add transition from this DFA, right? And finally, you know,
Sir, we don't consider halt in inputs in the DFA, right?
Correct.
Yes,
Yes.
Sir, understood. Yes, okay. Sir.
Got it.
Right. Thank you, sir.
So this is how we actually converted, right? I think that's all. So thanks a lot. And I think, before closing, I should tell you about the exam. There are two sections, section A and section B, and there will be multiple choice questions, okay, based on the topics that we have covered, okay, till date. So basically assignment 3 will be discussed but probably we may not ask. I am not sure right now because I have not made the paper. But of course, I will synchronize with the other section as well to see if these things are covered there. Based on that, we will decide what kind of topics will be there, and we can actually, if there is any change, we will post it to the WhatsApp groups, right? So you know about what is going to be covered in the exam, right? Okay. Any question about the exams? There are 2 sections, multiple choice, 2-hour exam.
Sir, both of them multiple choice.
Both of them multiple choice. Okay. So we have to actually, yeah.
Sir, I have
see-
doubt in this DFA
Yes.
only. How Q2 becomes the accepting state?
Because so
Yes.
here what happens, Q1 is the accepting state, right? And
Yes.
Q1 is a part of this Q1, Q2. That's why whole thing is accepting state. Okay.
Okay, but sir, in NFA it was not there, so we cannot say that Q2 can be accepting state
Q2
in
is not
DFA.
accepting state. Since one of the state is accepting state, that's why the whole state is accepting state. That is the reason. One of them is accepting state, right? Okay.
Okay.
What about Q2A?
Hmm?
Hello,
What
sir.
about Q2A?
Sir,
Yes, yes. Yes.
is there is negative marking in a exam?
We have not thought about this. I don't think we will keep negative marking. Yeah. I don't think we'll keep negative marking. Yes.
No, sir, I am asking what about Q2A? There is no option for Q2A in NFA.
NFA, that is fine, but I am saying here I am giving you what happens even if, now this is Q1, Q2 is a single thing actually. Don't look at independently now. They are just combined, okay. And just as I can rename them. Q0 I can put capital A. I can put this state as capital A. This state as, I can delete this and I can put it capital B now, and this I can put it in capital C now. Our automata will work. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. But sir,
Sir,
like,
as you told that in DFA there are power sets, so is it possible that there is one power set such as Q0, Q1 also? Like as it is Q1, Q2.
Yeah, so not all of them are used here, no? Right?
Here not used, but then
Yeah.
Q1 is our accepting state. Then in DFA we have 2 accepting state like Q1, Q2.
Yeah. So that is a possibility. The DFA can also have multiple accepting states. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem to that. Okay. Okay, so I think most of your doubts are clear. I think Wednesday there is a holiday, right? Ram Navami. So there will be no class. I think this is the last class before exam. So any other thing we will communicate to you on WhatsApp, and of course there is a tutorial on Friday. So I think you will be ready for the tutorial anyway. So this assignment 3 is posted. See how many problems you can do based on whatever we have covered. I hope probably you will be able to do 2-3 questions there, and maybe based on whatever I have covered, but I need to see the other section as well. Okay, because we need to synchronize. Okay.